Curnow standing alongside Jared Polak, so that might be one of the runners they're trying to take out of the game.
And Homsch on Levi Casbolt.
Port Adelaide.
Charlie Dixon, sorry, Sandy.
Port Adelaide going to the right of your screen or to the Coventry end. And here we go. The Cruiser gets a hand to it. Tries to get the hand pass over the top. Gibbs can't get clear. And we'll have a repeat. Bryce Gibbs in sparkling form last week. 8 goals to him so far for the season. Here's Ebert getting Port away. Polak goes wide. Looking forward to seeing Kieran Byrne too, the young boy from County Louth.
He's a beautiful kick, Sandy, like most of the Irishmen.
Yeah, as this game unfolds. Wines is always dangerous. Back to Polak, spearing pass into the pocket. No mark taken by Needs. Ricochets away and goes over the boundary line.
Beautiful spoil there from Doherty. That is a magnificent start. Really good kick. He's got a good set of wheels, Doherty, and terrific spoil.
Need a good set of wheels to keep up with Jake Need. Cruiser, Trengove reinvented as a ruckman and get near that. Gibbs, Cripps, Thomas combined to get it to the wing. Homsch went for the mark, got an arm push.
Well, it's a mini win for Homsch already on Levi Casbolt, playing in front, so well done to Homsch.
And he could have just thumped that over the boundary as well. He wanted to actually mark the ball inside 50. One grab, not the second. Dixon Boak flicks it wide. Burn-Jones, short, Wines, pocket. Kickable by his standards. Let's see how his radar looks early. Crowd still finding their seats here. Carlton expecting close to 30,000 here this afternoon on the back of 3 wins in a row for the Blues. Wines bends that around pretty well, just a little too much, only a behind.
So back into play and kicking to himself. Now away to the outer side. Hand pass is good. Coming originally from Doherty. Up towards centre wing. Big pack of players. No one out too cleanly. Stewart got the ball out. May get it back again. No, leaves it for Homsch. Goes with a big bomb once again. In towards the forward line. At the back, well, it's fisted over the boundary line. And we've got another throw in.
Well, the great thing about Homsch and his fellow defenders is they've managed to block Casbolt out of the first 2 contests to the point where he hasn't been even able to contest the footy in the air.
Well, they would have went to school on last week, especially Jay. 7 contested marks he took last week, the record being 10. The great Wayne Carey.
Cruiser and Trengove to go at it again at the throw-in. Number of players lurking. One of them, as he shoots towards goal, tries to bounce it through, as Young. And another behind. Aaron Young, pretty good form too. 3 goals last week in his side's demolition of Brisbane.
He's kicked 3 times this year already, Sandy. He's kicked 3 goals.
Very handy up forward for the power. Thomas gets the hand pass away. They're out of trouble now. Murphy, is he out of trouble yet? Eventually, Murphy gets clear. Kicks towards Casbolt, who was taken out of it. And the mark is paid to Stewart.
That's 3 times. 3 from 3 now. Casbolt hasn't been able to contest in the air.
And stolen by Cruiser. Dangerous kick. Caused the turnover, but they've turned it back again, Port Adelaide. Jarman Impey caught. Handball just in time. Trengove through the traffic. Found a hole. Ebert. Back to Impey, who can kick a long ball if he wants. Goes central. Ollie Wines. Dixon down there. Bryce Gibbs saves the day. Flicks it to Rowe. Shrugs Wingard. Back to Cripps. Caught by Wingard.
Great tackle.
Got a handball away according to the umpire. Did he dive on that? Yes, he did.
It's in a bit of trouble, Cripps, after that tackle from Wingard.
Yeah, they're getting repeat entries here at the moment. Port, this is their 8th.
And Homsch again with the ball. Heads to Young. And it's cut off, but Homsch giving Levi Casbolt something to think about at the moment. He's not going out there just to punch all afternoon. Levi now knows that Homsch is going to attempt a few grabs, and that might change his mindset as we get a ball in half forward for Port.
Yeah, well, he's getting support, Dwayne, and Liam Jones, he's the one that needs to get dangerous because his direct opponent is helping Homsch in the air with Casbolt.
You see Paddy Cripps jogging forward to have a spell. Had the wind taken out of him in that crunching tackle from Wingard.
Boak from the throw-in. Couldn't take it cleanly. Cruiser was working hard. It's flicked over the line once again. But Port doing the bulk of the attacking early on, Spudge.
And here's Casbolt getting double, triple teamed there. So you can see the body work from Homsch, and then a beautiful mark over the top there from Paul Stewart. So Paul Stewart's direct opponent needs to get dangerous, or at least compete one-on-one in the air.
Trengove, well, there he goes again. Almost taken high, and he almost threw it out. Curno's kick was partly smothered. Opportunity for Ebert. Gets it away now to Pinnett. He's on the 50. He goes for goal. He's bending it back, but not enough. And it stays left for another behind.
Good quick hands from the stoppage. This is that tackle that really winded him. He landed flat on his back. He got hammered by Wingard.
Here's Wright from the kicking. He's up towards centre one. That's going to be okay. Mark taken by Cripps. He swings around now. Casbolt. Levi.
Well, that's the kick that'll find Casbolt every time. He's landed awkwardly.
He has. He's hurting himself. Yeah.
Holding his left knee.
This is not good.
Shaking his head.
This is not good.
Gee, it just looked like a standard mark, didn't it? But he very quickly shook his head. He's not right. He's got problems.
No, he saw.
And when you hold it still like that.
It's not the knee that's strapped either. It's the other one. He's got strapping on one knee, but it's the other.
Yeah, it's the left. Oh, yeah, the left straight-legged.
Hyperextended it.
Yep.
Yeah, he's in a bit of trouble with this, guys. Oh.
Well, that's tragic for Carlton and for Levi Casbolt.
You just see the left leg there. Oh, no. Yeah. He's in a lot of trouble there. You just see, as I said, the straight-legged land instead of having your knees bent. Let's hopefully it's just jarring, but gee, there was a hyper-extension there, guys, wasn't there?
Is that the best case scenario with a hyperextension, Danny, that it just jarred?
Yeah, that's the best case, Sandy, but you could see when he landed straight-legged, there was a hyperextension, which means it puts pressure on the cruciate ligament behind the knee and stretches it. So let's hopefully it's still intact.
Well, Andreas Everett is going to take the kick. Didn't have his kicking boots on all game last week against Collingwood. How could he start this one? Perfect. That's for Levi. Carlton get there first.
Yeah, straight down the race for Levi Casbolt. Much needed goal from Carlton. That's the second time they've gone inside. Sorry, the first time they've gone inside their forward 50. We've seen Casbolt down the stairs. That's the big story at the moment. So Port have been in 6 times, funny enough, Jace, for 3 behinds. Carlton going once with a terrific mark here from Casbolt, but just the landing. Oh, no, gee. The hyperextension of the left leg, it just doesn't look good at all. Let's hope it's just jarring.
That's where the old sub rule does help a team. If you lose a player early, you're not down a rotation for the rest of the day. But the players didn't want it, so it's gone. Trengove in the ruck against Cruiser. Cruiser decisive. Rodney Eade wants it. Gibbs.
Yeah, not all of them.
To half forward. Jonas, good pick on the run.
Rocket needs some fit players. That's what he needs, Dwayne.
Flicks it back to Impey. Was he just deflecting? Was he, Rocket?
No,
Impey sidestep was delightful. West off, went up early and brought it down.
Terrific grab. What he did, he used his foot to keep Jamison away. I thought he might have jumped too early, but that was really good protection of the ball there from Westhoff.
Caught Jamison on the wrist as well. He's holding his wrist.
Well, it's just really good marking play, and that's a beautiful weighted kick. You just see the right leg there go into Jamison's wrist. You're right, Dwayne. Well picked up.
He's holding it. That's his career set shots. This spot, all grounds.
Just fruit salad there.
Absolutely, but he's made those numbers look a little better. Port Adelaide's first. They're back in front.
Good contested mark. We've seen one contested mark at each end now when they've created one-on-one opportunities for the key forward. Casbolt, unfortunately, has come off injured, but now an opportunity for Westhoff. And Jarman Impey just getting the ball to a one-on-one contest, which is often all the forward wants, to his side of the contest, and that allowed him to ply his trade. Looked a little awkward, but it was very effective, just sticking the foot
it's fantastic, isn't it?
Into Jamison. Yeah.
I think everyone at home needs to watch this because it's great protection of the drop zone.
10 goals for the season now to Justin Westhoff.
Yeah, they're winning the game at the coalface at ground level. You see their ground ball gets 8 to Port, only 2 to Carlton.
Cruiser got a hand to it. Trengo takes it away again.
Well,
pokes it out wide. First to it, however, will be Dennis Armfield. Goes over the top. Now the Blues through Plowman. Go up towards right half forward. Poor kick, however. Kept in play by Walker. Still with an opportunity. Simpson up towards right half forward, and a good mark taken in the pocket by little Liam Sumner.
Well, what Port need to be mindful of here now, there's no Casbolt, so every player in the Carlton team need to provide a contest, because the bailout kick was to the best contesting mark player in the competition. To the Port defence. And lady got the shades on under the roof.
Incognito. Sumner's kick to the top of the square is belted through. In fact, it misses the behind and is out of bounds in the left forward pocket.
Yeah, and that's what the defence for Port need to readjust now, because you could see early in the game they were going to double, triple team Casbolt in the air. The Port defenders just need to be mindful that every one of the Carlton forwards are now a realistic option.
From the ball in, down to Murphy. He had it, but lost it. And got a free. So it worked in his favour.
Yeah, it did, Wayne. He'd be the first to admit he was very lucky, because he did fumble the clearance, but it's a little bit overzealous, that free kick there.
Yeah, he needed to be a little bit more prudent the way he approached it, Pollock, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had him cold, and he just fell over the top of him. That's clumsy.
Yeah, he had to hold his feet, didn't he? He had to hold his feet, because Murphy was already at ground level, and all Murphy could do was hit it out.
100% from here. Means he can't miss.
Well,
yeah. Like
you're
that.
spot on. Still 100%.
Well,
Blues back in front.
that's where stats are very, very helpful. That's his hitting zone right there, the left forward pocket. Really good shooting for goal from Mark Murphy. You just see here, he had to hold his feet there,
Yeah.
Pollock. Murphy was already going to ground, so all that Murphy could have done if Pollock had held his feet was to hit the ball out. And as I said, he'd be the first to say he's very lucky, because he fumbled the initial clearance. But this kick here, just beautiful, compact technique, straight over the goal umpire's hat. Great captain's goal.
Well, guys, we're just waiting for confirmation down here from Carlton. There's still no word as yet with Casbolt, so we're just waiting to hear, and we'll keep you updated when we get some news, guys.
Thank you, Moons. Let's hope it's not as serious as we know those sort of injuries can be. Back in the middle, Cruiser gets a hand play, winds, goes a couple of times but can't get it out. It's left to Curnow for Carlton. He goes long up towards the forward line, running back with the flight of the ball is Stewart, and he takes a good mark.
He reads the high ball really well, Paul Stewart.
Tucked in the back pocket. He goes back towards the middle. It's a high floater and it drops like a bomb. And the favourite son takes the mark. The 250 gamer, Kate Simpson. Kick's got to be good, and it was. Towards Everett it went. He couldn't complete the mark. He's got support in the form of Lamb, who goes for goal and gets it.
Beautiful call, Sandy. The 250 gamer Simpson, that's what we've come to expect. What a beautiful long kick on the left to get the ball to Everett there. Really does switch the defence and change the angles, and really well roved as well from Lamb. So you see Simpson here, and the key to this play, he plays on instantly, Jason.
What about the hand pass from Thomas? This is exceptional. That one there.
Oh, yeah, what a ripper. Straight into the corridor. Great team goal.
Yeah, nicely spotted. Jason, the handball was superb. Lamb, 7th game for the Blues. Simpson, 250 games for the Blues. A huge round of applause. 12th Carlton player all time to have done it. Curnow tries to get it out. Westhoff winds. O'Shea plenty on it, and Rowe was in front of Dixon.
Yeah, beautifully positioned there. Rowe on Dixon.
Everett plays on quickly. Here is their running man, Simpson to Curnow. Heads long, under it, cracker, and good mark.
Gee, that's a good contested mark under pressure.
He's fought his way back in, and he's stayed in the team since his indiscretion earlier this year.
Well, he's a talent, Wayne. There's no doubting that. It's just the preparation to be an AFL footballer. He needs to obviously work on, and he's been able to do that. And that's why Ken Hickley likes him, because that contested mark was a ripper.
Oh, that's a poor kick from Hartlett, taken by Cruiser. Carlton will go deep inside 50 once again. Up towards the forward line. What a grab by Liam Jones.
Well, you turn the ball over in the middle of the ground, you're always going to have defenders on the move and off the leash, because the kick's gone in. There was no way known the option was on, because Cruiser was guarding that space beautifully. The ball travelled 35 metres into the corridor, and the key to the play again was Carlton. As soon as they get the turnover, played on instantly.
There's some good contested marking early on in this match. If he misses right.
Yeah, this is a very good stat as well.
The much maligned Liam Jones from 40 metres. Drop punt is to the right, finding the woodwork.
Yeah, that's
They don't lie, the numbers, do they?
They don't.
Someone should ring him and tell him.
Yeah. No, well, he'll watch this during the week, Blaine.
Well, obviously he hasn't watched the last 4 broadcasts.
No, and that's a beautiful contested mark, but a beautiful kick.
Guys, off the top of the show, you spoke about that wall that Carlton are building. Well, that's Cruiser twice now with those big intercept marks through the middle of the ground. It's working brilliantly.
Cut off that dangerous inside kick. Port Adelaide want to take the game on down the corridor, but Cruiser has been ready for both of them.
No, you're right, Moons. They're getting field position now. Port had the first 6 inside 50. Since then, Port have been in twice. Carlton 7. So, yeah, once they get it in there, they get repeat entries.
Dixon in the ruck. Got it down. Amon slams it forward. And Byrne can't cut it off in time. One change for Port Adelaide at selection this week. Amon back into the team. Jimmy Tumpus has been dropped. 4th game of the season for Carl Amon. Cruiser again decisive, but there's Amon on cue. And well read. Now pushed to Wingard. So Wingard's going to take the free for about 45 out. He was the man that kept Port Adelaide in it last time these two teams met, when the Blues scraped home by 4 points in a controversial game that saw Bryce Gibbs reported for a tackle on Robbie Gray and given 2 weeks, and an umpiring decision late in the game helping the Blues. Wingard kicked 5 in that one. To the Boos.
Good effort, good attempt. Wasn't a bad kick at all.
5 scoring shots to 4 in favour of Port, but they trail by 9 points. Simpson from the back pocket, who's called to play on not the required distance. Plowman does exactly that. Big up and under, and the diving mark taken by Stewart. He backpedals a little, get to O'Shea, who goes even further to Cracker. Little chip over the top is okay. Homch. Every player in one half of the ground at the moment. Back to Cracker again, trying to find a passage down towards the forward line, and he's done it through Ollie Wines. 60 from home. Low trajectory kick goes up in towards the forward line. Need is waiting down. Was he taken high? He shrugs one tackle. A cry of ball goes up.
Great second effort from Gibbs.
Well, he needed it, Spud, because the first effort was pretty ordinary. He had Jaggy Need cold with the tackle from behind, and he just let him shrug it off. But to his credit, he butted up again.
Gibbs desperation in the end, wasn't he? He knew that he let one slip early.
Finding Rowe. Sorry, Spud. Rowe. Short. That's going to be okay. It's got to be 50. So Plowman. And these actions are frustrating Ken Hinkley early on in this game. Plowman now forward of the centre. Players streaming down the ground. He goes long. Carlton inside 50 once again towards Jones, towards Cruiser. Armfield snaps, and is away to the left.
He didn't realise the mark had been paid, and I think he's probably telling us that he didn't get first hands on the footy, Matty Cruiser, because that's why he handballed it straight away.
Well, let's have a look. You're right.
It was Jones.
Jones.
But he was going to pay the marks, but you're right. The umpire called it.
Definitely going to pay it.
He's no liar. He wasn't going to claim it when he didn't mark it. Doherty had it for a split second. She tees it out.
We get every player to be as honest as that, Wayne, the way the game is played.
Only our cricketers were like that with their LBW decisions. Back into play on the wing. Yeah, some players are very good at faking sincerity. Dixon. Big palm down. Hartlett keeps it running. Amon. Trengove, jump down. Got it to Wine somehow. Got it to Archie somehow. Wingard could go central. He does, but he overcooked it. And the mark taken by Simpson. Last line of defence.
Love the weight of the hand pass from Archie that released Wingard.
Kerridge, will he overcook that? Straight over Everett's head. And Pittard, who's having an all-Australian-like season, sends it back. Wingard, one grab, not the second. Young, dragged down, no Pryor. Now he's trying, so it's a ball up.
Almost 20 minutes played in this first term. Carlton by under 2 kicks. Cruiser wins it. Simpson ridden into the ground. He loses the footy. Kerridge had it and then lost it. Boak works hard for Port. Goes in again. Lies a tackle to Curnow. Now we've got another stoppage.
Most of the stats are pretty even at the moment. Clearances at Port Adelaide, though, are doing pretty well, 8-4.
Trengove used the body. Oh! He says, I'll go it alone. And the big man does. Trengove gets his first. And it's his first for the season. And Port Adelaide hit back.
He's been good in recent weeks from stoppages. Trengove going into the ruck. He just does it himself. He holds Cruiser off. Keeps his eyes on the footy. Kicks the goal. And then gives him a little bit of lip. Love it.
Yeah, we had 13 clearances last week, so it's not as if we know what he's going to do after the clearance. The umpire throws the ball up. Great goal.
It's been a twofold reinvention. Port Adelaide obviously needing someone in the ruck with Lobie out of form and then injured in the SANFL, and they needed a bit more speed in defence, so it's helped them 2 ways. He knocks this down to Broadbent, gets the clearance, and Need front spot. Just pokes the pass. Wingard half tripped. Umpire said it wasn't a trip, it was accidental. Simpson, little fumble. And little fake from Joe He gives him one back and then gives the free kick away to the Blues.
Yeah, silly. The game stopped. So as soon as you see head-high contact, you probably should have got 50 there as well.
So the hero of the day takes it at half-back.
Well, this is disposal number 7.
Plenty of Logie nominees out there too.
Yeah. But anything above the shoulders in a stop play, they're always going to give a free kick away.
Simpson towards centre wing. Smashed straight up in the air by the pack. Pittard knocks it down at a second attempt. Ebert's hand pass towards Polak. Claim. Oh, and a high tackle, Deem.
Yeah, too high with the hands there. Walker on that occasion. Starting a bit willing this game.
Well, it was nasty last time they met.
Burn-Jones gives it away. Pittard in towards Wingard and co. No one able to take it cleanly. Ball comes out. It was big Charlie Dixon who got it out towards Young. Another hand pass is okay. Polak centering ball. Carlton have got the numbers. Kerridge gets an unkind bounce. He's the only one that does get an unkind bounce because they're able to pop another one through Port Adelaide, and they're looking good early. Amon gets the goal.
Wasn't a great bounce, was it, for Kerridge? He had to get his tried to get his body behind it, but it was just a nasty one. It looked an average kick from Polak, and then it just skipped up right in front of him. Needed to get the whole body behind it. And unfortunately, as the ball gets passed straight into the hands of an opposition player in Amon, runs into an open goal.
Well, the clearances, Port are putting Carlton to the sword at the moment in the clearance stakes.
Been an in-and-out player this year, Carl Amon.
Well, that's their second clearance goal back-to-back, so 10-4 clearances way and Port's way, and obviously 3-2 centre clearances.
Cruiser, big palm on that, down to Murphy, had it but lost it. Curnow on hands and knees. Young got in there quick, caught though. No Pryor, dumped into the deck. Umpire Ray Chamberlain quick in for a ball up.
Some room behind me, please. Coming out here.
Love the way Ed Curnow plays. Ebert gets it from Trengove. Bangs it forward. Impey. Unkind bounce. Dixon got there. Gave it to Wingard, who initially got on his way. Back to Dixon. The twist was good. Caught. Inside kick. Polak can't half volley it. Still danger here for the Blues. Need. He dived into a high.
He did. It was clever played, Wayne. And Dale Thomas is letting him know, but...
Relax, I've seen it once. Left shoulder, definitely high.
Yeah, it's interesting. He didn't duck his head, but he was already at that level.
He was. And he
plays on to Pittard, who blows it.
Well, that's just horrible. Why would you hand pass when you're 35 metres out directly in front?
Yeah, you've got to take the responsibility on
That's a
yourself.
lack of confidence in your own goal kicking, and Daisy Thomas can't really complain about the free kick. He's gone over the shoulder.
Yeah, that's right. And the thing with that, he actually took the tackle on. Jake Need, so didn't slow down. That's what forced the free kick.
Murphy takes the kick in, goes up towards centre wing. Hobbs got a hand to it. Keeping it in play for Carlton was right. Now they've got an opportunity through Walker, centering ball. They've got the numbers waiting down. Cruiser takes the hand pass. Back pedals to Murphy, who initiated this passage from the back pocket. He goes towards Kerridge. Ignores Byrne wide.
Everett was on as well.
Now he does get the hand pass away. Tui up towards forward line. Poor kick.
No, they had to do better than that.
Hartley.
They had to do better than that, Carlton. They had the extra on the overlap and they didn't use Everett.
Polak.
The Trengove long.
That's where he's coming. Well, the big man doesn't let him down.
Oh,
yes, he does let him down. Murphy. Are they going to make him pay? Walker couldn't complete the mark inside 50. Trengove gets another chance. It's a high ball back towards Broadbent. Used the body against Kerno and is going to get pinged.
Gee, Andrew Walker would be remonstrating internally, I suspect, tackling himself over what was a soda of a mark that he dropped. He should have been lining up for goal.
Jamison to Rowe. The switch is on. Kerridge wide to the outer side. Back into the middle.
It's a couple of times we've seen Port go into the corridor from half back. First time cost him a goal. That one didn't, but probably should have.
Murphy having a field day in the last 60 seconds. Picks up another possession. Interesting kick. A little pitching wedge.
Yeah, just bit off a little bit too much there. He played on, which was great, but Broadbent was all over that, which put pressure on the kick.
Okay. Play on you.
Aim on.
Okay, yes.
Having a good first term. Drives it long. Dixon's on his own. 3 minutes left in the quarter. Impey runs for him. Wines runs. He's got Pollock inside. Gone. Throw.
How good was the tackle? That was great from Gibbs. He tried to sell the dummy, but Gibbs was all over. Just kept his eyes right on the hips.
A few players breathing in the deep ones at the moment. Hits wide to Jamison. His milestone match, 150 for him. Doherty takes some time. Now he's got Dale Thomas on the open side. Needs to be a good kick. But they could take off here. Sees the opportunity. Wowman.
We're going to have to continually switch the ball now, Carlton. They haven't got the bailout kick with Casbolt, so that's why you'll see Carlton a lot of times change direction and try and shift the Port defence.
Walker hugs the boundary. Jones is target up way early. But not an unrealistic leap, and the ball thumped out of play. 2:18 left.
That's Levi Casbolt in the room. Well, he's looking distressed by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, but he's got no boots on. He's taking the jumper off, so
that could be it for the day.
There is an issue.
And if they called the family down, it's probably an indicator too. You don't normally...
You're never sure that. Sometimes it's just to find out whether he's okay or not.
His ice going under the left knee now.
Yeah.
No doubt we'll get a report from Moons at quarter time, which is not too far away. Gibbs in the thick of things once again. Head down, bum up. He burrows and gets it out to Cripps. Cripps goes short, finds Jones. Growing in confidence as the days go by at his new club. In towards the forward line. Had the numbers. But can they get out? Stewart's in all sorts of trouble. Boundary line, his saviour.
It's one of the few times we see a forward throwing a defender over the boundary line with the ball. They're normally dragging them back in the other way now and keeping the ball in play.
Under 2 minutes remaining in this quarter. Third man up. No one able to get away cleanly. Broadbent. Sumner on his hammer. Cripps through heavy traffic. Snaps. Bends it the wrong way in the end. And out of bounds on the full, so Stewart will bring the kick in.
Oh, right on the post. Thanks, mate.
These two sides 12th and 10th on the ladder as we speak. Carlton 12th, Port 10th. They could, Port Adelaide, sneak into the 8 with a win here this afternoon. How long they'd remain there remains to be seen. Here's Doherty. Centering ball. backpedals to the 150 gamer in Jamison. He looks at a congested forward line and then goes straight towards the top of the square. No one able to get a decent run at it for Carlton.
Well, that wouldn't have happened, Sandy, if Casbolt was there. It'd either be a mark or a spoil to Port. So
they are finding it difficult, though, Spud. Port Adelaide getting the ball at back. And we spoke pre-game about that Carlton wall and how they press right up and they keep the ball in their forward line, and they're doing that at the moment.
No, they're doing a really good job, and that's coaching. That's what Brendan Bolton's brought to the team. The last 4 weeks, time in forward half, they're 10 minutes extra than the opposition, which is a terrific stat.
Wines gets away from Cripps. 2 young guns head to head. That's been a good battle so far. Rowe bumped out of play. Port Adelaide have kicked the last 2 goals after the Blues opened up a 2-kick lead.
Yeah, they're ranked 4th in the competition over the last month, Carlton, of keeping the ball inside their forward half.
Cruiser. Trengo from behind down to Boak. Scrambles it towards Young. Tui. Young got a hand on it, then crumbed his own ball. Caught though, good tackle, Plowman. Got it off to Dixon. Wingard. Didn't go for the miracle kick, went for Westhoff.
That was a magnificent kick. And what happened then, Michael Jamison was spectating the ball. And what happened was Westhoff just ducked out the back beautifully. All of a sudden, Jamison's looked to where his direct opponent was, and he knew he was in strife because he just lost the touch and feel on Westhoff. Beautiful kick, though, as you described, guys.
Already got 1, coming off a 3-goal game last week. That's his career set shots from this spot. And that hurts with the siren about to sound for quarter time. Port Adelaide by 9 points. Their biggest lead of the contest as the quarter time siren sounds. Etihad Stadium, round 8, 3rd of the season over. And this one shaping as a good one.
They can get the clearances under control. We know when they get the ball in and get territory, they can keep it in there.
And look at that, 6 scoring shots from stoppages for Port Adelaide.
So Cruiser, Gibbs, Cripps, Murphy in the middle to start the second term. Trengove against Cruiser, bounce favoured Cruiser. He thumps it to Gibbs, gets past one, not the other. Amon came at him and Boak flicks it away. After the initial tackle attempt, Pittard flicks it to his own advantage, then kicks straight to Murphy. To Gibbs. Thought about Cripps, he goes back. Tui. And indecisive now with no Casbolt to go long to.
No, it was a good play in the end because he never went long. It was going to be an outnumbered situation.
So Walker might be their high flyer. He goes short. And the slow build up to Cripps. Is he within range? He thinks he is.
Well, that's what Port need to readjust, Dwayne. They're probably expecting the long bomb, but Casbolt's out of the game now.
Hands off quickly. Tui can drive one home from 60. It's out of here.
Beautifully called, Dwayne, and it was a really good build-up and just a brain fade. We know that Tui's a beautiful long kick, and just to allow him to go over is pretty ordinary.
Just going to show something here. Having a look at this man right here, Amon, doesn't track the footy from the centre square clearance. You watch what he does. He follows his man here when he could have actually attacked the footy and maybe prevented Bryce Gibbs from getting that ball forward. I think it's just a great example. No matter whether you're looking after a man or doing a job, you always track the footy.
Zach Tui, a big bomb to start Carlton going in the second quarter. Trengo gets a decent old run at it. Cripps couldn't take it, neither could Cruiser. Murphy can. Had a busy first quarter. Goes down towards the half-forward line. Armfield tries to shrug a tackle, isn't successful. Impey and Simpson go charging forward. And it's the 250 gamer who wins out. Puts them inside 50. No one waiting down at the back. Pressure now on the Port Adelaide defence. And they're feeling it too. Trying to get through was Amon again. Eventually it's Pittard who comes wide. Trengo takes the mark. He's called to go, trying to draw the player. Successfully so. Up towards the half-forward line. Charlie Dixon's had been quiet. Need gets caught and taken to ground. Dixon tries to get that ball out. He can't.
There's a good tackle from Dale Thomas. Front on, didn't give away the free kick. Need was charging at him.
Trengove, Gibbs, third man up. Cripps Goes back to Murphy again. Towards centre wing. Rowe with a fist. Belts it down in front. Etihad tried to steal it from Kerridge but was unsuccessful. Now Murphy again. He's racking them up. Interesting kick. Down towards the 50. The bounce favours Port Adelaide. That was O'Shea. They're out of trouble. Back towards the middle and Westhoff takes the mark.
That's the kick. If it works, they're away. If it doesn't work, it's a turnover. Impey, he's got one-on-ones ahead. He's got Wingard on a one-on-one with Doherty or Charlie Dixon. He wants Charlie. He's got Charlie.
While that's going on, Matty Cruiser's in trouble, Spud.
Hasn't moved since that clearance about 60 seconds ago. So I'm not sure whether he's just been winded, but 20 seconds he's on the ground and he's stood up. So just have a look at there.
Oh,
yeah,
it's a
he's got
knee.
a knee right into the stomach region.
So is that winded or a rib?
Ribs. Well, let's hopefully it's just winded, Wayne. It looked a little bit higher near the rib cage.
Charlie Dixon coming off a 5-goal game last week. In fact, he kicked 5 straight last week.
Yeah, he's the #1 go-to player in the competition, Dwayne. They've gone to him inside the forward 50. Here's Matty Cruiser. He's in all sorts at the minute. You see the knee here from Brad Ebert. Yeah, let's hopefully it's just winded. And there's Dixon's lead. And as I said, he's the #1 go-to player in the competition. 98 times they've gone to him inside the forward 50 this year. So you know the odds with Dixon going there. It's great to see Cruiser back in the ruck.
Sort it out, please.
Yeah, it's good to see Cruiser back in the middle to contest.
Now you know. Now you understand, boys, why ruckmen hate players jumping third man up and why they yell at their teammates when they allow it to happen.
Exactly. The interesting thing from the Blues is Rowe has gone forward to replace Casbolt, and they're using Lockie Plowman playing tall now as a key defender.
Almost shades of Sandilands, who got that nasty one. Just Trengove going up towards the 50. Tui running out of room but keeps it into Murphy, who put it out of irons on the full.
Out of bounds on the full. Find there,
Trengove there just having another impact at the centre clearance.
Boak hurriedly to the top of the square once again. Jostling, Young gets clear, has time, gives it away. Charlie snaps one behind.
Might have been a bit too unselfish, Young then. He perhaps could have kept going and snapped it on the left foot. And handballed it off to Westhoff.
It's easy to do, Sandy.
Yes, with a couple of beards.
Cripps.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, it's a beard off in the forward line at the moment. Port Adelaide, that's a short pass.
Thank you. Clear out.
The Curnow.
Thanks, Charlie. Thanks, Paddy.
Just the required 15. And he went short. Westhoff cuts it off.
Bad decision.
Pokes it back and beard to beard. He let it go. Dixon, Young, was unselfish earlier. Unselfish here. Ebert found the gap. Kicks the goal. Turnovers can kill you.
Yeah, we just see Brendan Bolton in the coach's box. He'd be really disappointed. It wasn't a kick, it was the decision to go there. The decision, have a look. Curnow's gone to nearly a 3-on-1 in that occasion. So the odds weren't great. You've got Jed Lamb there, who's not big, so it was just a short pass, and it was always going to end up in a score. It was just a matter of how accurate it was, and Port made them pay in the biggest possible way. That's really disappointing. They're impossible to defend those turnovers from that area of the ground.
16 points the margin now in favour of Port. And again, it'll be Trengove and Cruiser. An excellent bounce. Trengove tried to take it out and get away, but he couldn't. Wines is at the bottom of the pack.
Yeah, they've been in 3 times this quarter, Port Adelaide, for 2 majors, so they're scoring at will at the moment. And I know that Rowe's gone forward, Jace, with Casbolt, but it does open up their defence somewhat as well.
In towards Wines. Gibbs' hand pass is okay to Walker. Walker's hand pass wasn't too good, but Curnow made it look okay. And the kick wobbles to Liam Jones, who takes the mark directly in front.
Well, it wasn't his best kick turnout, but now Carlton got a shot at goal, and he was the one to turn the ball over for Port to kick that goal. So at least he's hopefully going to square the ledger of Liam Jones. You can see here in the bottom of the screen the kick from Curnow. Look, the decision to go in there was perfect. It was a bit of a wobbler, but it paid dividends. Well, this is just a matter of how accurate this kick is from Liam Jones.
Jones for his first for the day and his 5th for the year. Not a problem. Carlton answers.
The last time they met, it was a pretty unsavoury clash, wasn't it? We saw the sling tackle from Bryce Gibbs that put Robbie Gray out of action, and in the end it was a tight one.
That was a touch play on call that nobody heard. It was called after the mark was taken.
When they thought there might have been a shot to win the game. Johnny Barker, the interim coach, got the job done. Let's hope we get another 4-pointer today.
And now a new coach, Brendan Bolton, at the helm against Ken Hinkley.
Well, they're squaring the ledges, Dwayne, in the clearances. They got smacked in the first quarter, Carlton, 4-1 in this quarter.
Trengove kind of gets that, but he kicks it straight to his opposite ruckman, Cruiser, who made it tough. Westhoff, shut down tackle, ball. And now he's got one-on-ones ahead. Dixon. Good battle over the back. Plowman did well. Need, Tui, Need, bang, knocked over the boundary. Still alive though, can't run it out these days. Curnow goes back, De Plowman goes wide. Cripps against the boundary, dances around Boak. Curnow a roller, Ebert caught, dragged across the line, and a ball in.
Beautiful tackle there from Westhoff. That is the perfect tackle. Went low and didn't fall on his back.
It's interesting, some umpires don't pay holding the ball if the ball's knocked out in the tackle.
Yeah, they like to call play on if it spills out, but I'd like to see that tackle rewarded.
Trengove to Wines. Trying to get clear was Impey. Pushed over the top and bouncing through for one goal. There's another one. And all of a sudden, Hartlett has extended the lead back to 16 points.
It's getting a little bit of a buffer now. Port Adelaide, they seem to be going forward at will and certainly scoring at will. Still 13 scores from 22 inside 50, so still operating above the 50% mark, which is a pretty exceptional conversion rate.
Well, with that, Jace, they've been in 5 times for 3 goals. So their goal scoring efficiency at the moment in this quarter is 60%. The league average is about 24%, so they're more than double.
It's got some class, Hamish Hartlett. Picked 4 behind Watts, Nat Nui and Josh Hill back in 2008. Always been a gun kid. Half tackle not rewarded. No holding the man. Amon slams it. Young's got 3 to beat. Knocked down to Tui. Goes all the way back. Plowman. Under some pressure from Need. Goes wide and stolen by Broadbent. He's got Westhoff inside. Didn't quite get to him. Cut off by Wingard. Tries to dance around Tui and he's stripped. And he had Pryor. So ball not clear on a tackle when you've had Pryor is always holding the ball. If you haven't had Pryor and it's not clear, some umpires don't pay it. Tui, half back to Rowe, now playing as a forward. And thumped clear of right and will get a ball in.
And he's got to do that every time, Sam Rowe. He's got to present and he's got to make sure he gets into the contest, brings the ball to ground at the very least, and give the runners and the crummers an opportunity to then get involved.
Almost down to centre wing. Curnow, who's been busy, gets it away to right. Interesting. Gourmet open here for Pittard. No, he left the footy behind. It may open for Carlton's Curnow. He handballs to himself and he can't pick it up. Hartlett gets him. Fierce tackling is allowed to go on. Need is away. He goes onto the left boot. Up towards the full forward. Was that a push?
He nearly paid. The umpire nearly paid it.
He thought about it, didn't he? Here's Armfield. Carlton out of trouble for the moment towards Cruiser.
Rowe had to protect.
Rowe was there. Walker claimed, ripped to the ground by O'Shea.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this one here. Is that hands at the back? Forearm.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Well,
the umpire almost went to give the push in the back signal.
It was the forearm. It was well adjudicated.
Almost a falcon off the head of Gibbs. Eventually it's Armfield. It's a high ball up towards half forward, smashed away towards the boundary line. Cracker is there on the very last line of defence. Centering ball, bring it back to Broadbent. Now an opportunity for Port. Broadbent bounces his way across the half back line. Goes wide and long, but where's he gone? The race is on. Blues have got the numbers, and the favourite son's going to get there first, but he can't keep it in play.
It's got to be deliberate. Oh, it's the throw-in.
Guys, just quickly, you just see that Cruiser just came off after that
play.
contest with Rowe. Came off with a sore knee, he's limping off. We know he's got a big hit in the stomach as well. So he's in the wars at the moment, the big fella.
Yeah, that was an interesting call. I think he touched that as it went across the line. So hard to call it deliberate if you can collect it. Carlton free, Cruiser downstairs. So 2 now in trouble for the Blues.
1 metre back. Thank you.
Curnow. Indecisive. Goes with that short pass again. Lamb. A little bit of a lull. Silence here at Etihad. 30,000 odd.
Thank you.
Dumps it down the line. Jonas, Homsch, Walker. Good crumb, Sumner. Hands it off. Perfect opportunity. Everett runs to 40. Drills it.
Really good build-up. I think they've changed their style a little bit, Jace. Carlton just caught it without Casbolt. It's been a bit of a slow, uncontested mark, but when they get forward to the centre, playing quickly to a one-on-one, and we see the clearance here, really well crumped. Great handball to Everett, who ran in shoulders out of the contest for a magnificent, much-needed goal from the Blues. That was a really good goal. Magnificent goal. We just saw Matty Cruiser there in that contest there now. So there's only 2 on the bench for Carlton. Obviously, with Casbolt out and Cruiser down the rooms, Brendan Bolton and the coaches will be swinging the changes now.
We'll get a full report from Cam Mooney at half-time, if not before, on the 2 big men.
Block, Carlton.
Trengove nonplussed for a moment, but the block was called. Interesting kick by Rowe. It's a bounce that's going to favour Port Adelaide. Boak. Caught. Dropped the footy. Jones has it. He's outside 50. Be kicking from 56. Goes to the top of the square. They come charging at it, but there's no Levi Casbolt. There's no Matty Cruiser. But there is Murphy. He goes across the face, right across the face, and Port Adelaide have got the numbers, and they will amble out of defence and hopefully go deep into attack again.
Well, Young's got 2 to beat out there. Couldn't beat them both. Doherty. Lace out to Lamb.
That was a beautiful kick from Doherty, Dwayne. Beautifully called, because his initial thought was to go a little bit short. Then he just lifted his eyes a fraction and kicked the ball to Lamb. He's had a little bit of impact, Lamb. He did a beautiful handball under pressure to Murphy, which the kick went astray. But have a look at here, Doherty. He changed his mind, and that is a great option.
Having a good little patch, the Blues, the last 5 or 7 minutes.
Really good little deal, the Plowman, Sumner, Lamb, Phillips deal to the Blues. Phillips out injured at the moment, obviously. Lamb from 48. Just misses. Just have to parlay that good patch into goals in a row if they can, the Blues, while they're hot.
Pitted down the middle, but they have closed the gap. It was 16 points, it's now 7. Broadbent, you've got to be quicker than that.
Yeah, thrown the ball. Incorrect disposal, beautiful tackle. Not sure what he's arguing for, Broadbent. He may have thought he got a fist to it.
Armfield to Daisy Thomas. Spearing it in towards the pocket. Now Murphy thought about that, was called out by Everett.
And that's a really good decision, Sandy, because Murphy was stationary, Everett was on the move. So, like all midfielders, you need to be aware of your forwards coming out of the square, and that's great connection between the skipper and Everett on that occasion.
Everett kicking for his 3rd goal.
Yeah, well, he's the danger man at the moment for Port Adelaide. They need to put a little bit more time into Everett.
There you can see what lies ahead of him. He's starting it right, and that's where it remains. 17 minutes gone in the 2nd quarter. Pitted again. Goes for his tall timber in Dixon. He lost it for a moment, but then regained composure. The Wines hand pass is a real floater. Wingard, Need towards centre wing. Impey's in all sorts of trouble. Simpson, gang tackle, and the 250 gamer is taken to ground. And Razor Ray comes in and says, I'll have it.
Done well again, the Blues, to stop a little bit of run from Port Adelaide. Spoke about that wall pre-game and setting up the defensive structure so that there's no easy transition for Port.
Rowe up against a couple. Thomas around the body. Rowe taken out of it for Tringo.
Yeah, too early on that occasion. Coming out of the play.
Bit different now for Tringo. He's got a more mobile guy against him in Rowe, causing him some troubles. Cripps. Byrne does exactly that to Charlie Dixon. Gives it back to Cripps. Curnow. He'll short pass to somebody. Goes to Kerridge. Cut off by Wines. Couldn't crumb his own ball. O'Shea couldn't crumb it. Still Kerridge. Now Wines again. Feeds it back. Pittard. Little double grab, but he collected. West off. Bounce pass. O'Shea. Kerridge came at him. He left it behind. Curnow again. Short pass. Was that 15? You bet it was. Everett will line up. Well, I'm not sure it was, but it was.
Yeah, it was one. Well, the umpire thought it was. That's the most important thing for Everett and Carlton. So he's just on the move all the time, Everett, and rightly so. He's not a big man. He doesn't take contested marks, but what he does is provide a moving target and it attracts the ball. So they've taken 8 marks inside their forward 50 at the moment, Carlton. Everett, 4 of those.
From the paint, struck it beautifully. Straight off the laces. Never in doubt.
Now, Brendan Bolton would have talked about lowering your eyes going inside the forward 50 in the second quarter without their contested mark player in Casbolt. And this has been a really good fight back from the Blues. Looked like the game was getting away from that occasion, but Everett entered the fold and he's moving. Really good pressure there from Kerridge. Great handball from Curnow. And Everett just continually on the move. He's very hard to defend against when you've got a mobile forward such as that.
7 goals, 2 from set shots to Andreas Everett this season. So a pretty good percentage. And Carlton right back in this game, just down by 2 points. Rowe.
Just saw the last 2 clearances, all Carlton's favour. Here's another one.
And here they go again. Tui goes long up towards the forward line, but no one at home. Porter got the numbers. Cracker takes them. Call to move it on. He goes almost laterally to Homch.
Again, a good sign of their defensive organisation, the Blues, holding it up, making them kick long to a contest.
Towards centre wing. Jamieson with the fist. Belted it clear. Thomas got boot to ball. Rowe trapped it nicely. Then runs into heavy traffic. Tringo tumbling a punt up towards the 50. This will be a race in 2 here. Wingard towards the line and going right there with him is young Lockie Plowman.
Doing a good job, Sandy. Plowman on Wingard, or the halfback flankers are at the moment. You see Byrne going on the Wingard, so it's Kieran Byrne. He's only had the 5 disposals for Wingard, so Byrne doing a terrific job.
Young man from County Louth. Rowe, Gibbs. The hand pass away, Cripps. And got to bring it back.
The clearances this quarter, 11-4, Carlton's favour. In the first quarter, it was 13-6, Port. So they're really getting on top of the clearance stakes, the Blues, led by Cripps.
Gibbs hits wide. Ball through Jones's hands. Port Adelaide about to make a triple change, as you can see. Boak, Ebert, Young preparing to come on. It's like ice hockey when they change a whole line at once. Bring a fresh line on. Ball back into play. Both ruckmen tie up. Tringo thumps it forward. Dixon playing in front. Position A. And it drops short.
And if he plays in front, he's big enough to protect the ball as it comes in like that. He's been kicking very well, Charlie Dixon. Been impressed with his work rate today. He's chased a couple of times very hard out of defence, out of the forward line to try and provide defence.
See, Tringo's just coming off for a quick rest, guys. He's had the 12 possessions, 3 clearances, 3 tackles, 3 inside 50. He's had a hell of a game so far.
There his numbers. And right on the paint. It drifts a little. It drifts too much. Only a behind. Big 5.5 minutes coming up here. Blues have some momentum. Port Adelaide still lead by 3, and Tringo on the blower.
And blowing.
Yep.
He's breathing hard. He's working hard in the ruck.
Tui comes back in, but just It remains in the pocket with Doherty.
Move it on now. Play on.
Long and high to the outer side, and a pack of 6 or 7 players. Gibbs and Cripps lurking.
Second tackle high.
Second tackle is deemed high. You can hear Ray Chamberlain say that. So once again,
Danger.
Carlton, but Young is there, has it fisted away. Pitted, long and low, back towards the forward pocket region. Wingard was the target. Plowman is there with him. Plowman needs assistance. Well, he's got it, but eventually the boundary line wins with taking it over the line. Young Brendan Archie to force a throw in.
That last kick from Etihad, just another example of they've tried to force a lot of the passes going inside 50.
So they've managed to keep it in the scoring zone. Can they take advantage of it? Impey takes a couple on, tries to get through heavy traffic. Now Murphy accepts the hand pass, comes back towards centre wing. Everett was the spoiler. Pittard with the ball, but taken over the boundary line. And another throw in to take place. Down to 4.5 minutes in this second quarter.
So no Levi Casbolt at the moment. We'll give you an update at half-time as to how bad that knee injury is. And Cruiser off as well. Update on that at half-time. Ball knocked down towards Hartley. Wants to take it and run. Keeps it alive. Amon. He couldn't keep it alive. Ball in.
It's actually a massive effort, Dwayne, when you consider there's Matty Cruiser right now. Hopefully going to be okay to come back on. But to have your 2 big men out of action, been a terrific effort by Carlton to fight back into it.
We just see that huge strapping on that left knee, guys. He's just done a couple of run-throughs, so it looks like he's going to come back out and give it another go.
Good news. Tui flicks it back. Thomas. Magnificent turn. Terrible handball. Wines. Back inside. Broadbent. Need. Sidestep. Lamb kept it in. Maybe to his detriment. Amon. Protected it. Got it back. Burn-Jones. Wines. Burn-Jones. Floats it. Forward pocket. Dixon there. Young floated back with the flight. Body on the line. Might get his reward here. Tries to push off. Simpson drags him out. Ball in. Great contest.
Yeah, great contest, one. Well called. Really good contest from the Carlton small defenders as well. They're under real heat then. Did well. Calls a boundary throw in.
Port Adelaide continue to threaten. Rowe from behind. Young in front looking for a free kick. Wines kickers smothered. Here's Westhoff bending it a little too far and through to one behind. All set up for a big second half. As Doherty brings it back into play. Simpson, who's had a very good 250th today.
Matty Cruiser, boys. Sorry, Matty Cruiser coming back on right now.
Good news, Moons.
That is. Thank you, Moons. Here's Murphy.
Now, let me tell you, Sam Rowe, who he replaced, was absolutely spent when he came to the bench.
Yeah, he's running freely too, which is fantastic.
Blues fans with the it always sounds like they're booing, but they're not.
No.
They love him.
Yes, Sam Rowe would be wondering about the rucking cable, wouldn't he? Here's Dixon. No mark. Young. He's at the back. If he can get his skates on, snaps with the left, doesn't pull it back enough.
Lockie Plowman has copped a knee in the back here, and he is in all sorts of difficulty.
Yeah, well, that was Aaron Young's direct opponent. That's why Young had so much space. And really good courage from Plowman.
Oh, in the kidneys.
Gee,
that's courage going back.
He's still on the ground too, guys.
It's 18-17 now. I'm surprised the Blues were so quick to play this on. They've got one-on-ones ahead. Yeah, Big Jones got up there, takes off, and brilliant smother. Seen so many awesome smothers this year. It's almost been brought back into the game. Stewart put Westhoff under the pump, had Jonas there as his outlet, flicks it wide, and it's still 18-17. Broadbent with 2.5 minutes left. Plowman, he's up, but he's not into it.
It's good courage too. He's starting to jog a bit now, which is good, but I think he's probably going to come off.
Yeah.
Sensible thing to do.
Broadbent heads toward Amon. 2 minutes left in the half. Poor old Matty Cruiser had to run a full wing to wing to actually get into that last ruck contest. I think he was spent again when he got there. Amon heads back again.
Good news on Plowman, guys. He's actually staying back on the ground, so it looks like no actual damage.
Cruiser looks a little spent again as he's trying to chase, and they've got the spare. Archie drives it long. Young got hands on it. got his own crumb, got his arms free, got away from the injured Plowman and slips it through.
Yeah, it was the initial play into the middle of the ground. It puts any defence under pressure. So when Port were able to get that one over the top, when Carlton were trying to get that wall up, Jace, they kicked the ball over the top into the centre. And then they kicked the ball long to Aaron Young. And Doherty did an extremely good job. This is the kick. This is the kick that really opened it up. Really good vision here from Archie. And you can see Doherty did a great job, but had to go to ground with that front-on spoil. That's it, and Plowman didn't look real interested in that situation there either after a heavy knock.
Handy goal for Port and for Young as we approach half-time. Once again, the lead out to 11 points. Westhoff doing the ruck work against an injured Cruiser. Gibbs from a standing start pumps it long. Can the Blues reply? They've got it inside 50. Pittard was there, but he couldn't take it cleanly. Everett tries to get it away towards Walker. Claimed. The ball spills free. Need had it for a moment and then lost it. Finally, they steady through Hartland. Over the top, up towards centre wing. Wingard's hand pass. Well, it wasn't too good for Amon, but he's able to back up once more. And eventually the boundary line wins out. Pittard was almost standing over the line when he tried to get the hand pass away to his teammate, and we've got another throw in. 1 minute remaining in the half.
Hands off, Edge! Hands off!
Well, Rosonico with the third eye.
Cruiser got a hand to it. Wright was there as well, so too Kerner. Westhoff soccers off the ground. Going the wrong way. They come back to Gibbs.
2 metres back, please.
Ebert called back. But it matters not because he's changed tack and gone backwards. Perhaps sensing that the siren is imminent. And Daisy Thomas quite content to maintain possession or switch play once again. That's exactly what he does. Going back to Doherty. So they're just working on their disposal count at the moment. Jamison, the 150 gamer, goes even wider. And time ticking away. Probably possible now for only one side to get a score. And now close to the boundary line, not even that. O'Shea's in all sorts of trouble taken by Kerner and he's been pegged. So that'll be it.
I didn't think you kicked it. Fend off. Prior opportunity. Play on.
Short. One of the last kicks of the day, or for the half, to Plowman. Jamison. Does he think about Thomas? No, he doesn't. Because the siren has sounded, and at the long break, Port Adelaide were challenged in that second quarter. Carlton came to within a couple of points, but Port Adelaide rallied late, 8-9-57 to Carlton 7-4-46. We have got a game on our hands, though, at the long break. It is Port Adelaide by 11 points here at...
Exceptional career, but full credit to whoever stuck with him after 3 loads of donuts. That is fantastic.
So Cruiser back into the ruck for the Blues. Port Adelaide by 11 points to start the second half after they led by 9 at quarter time. Trengove up. Cruiser the palm. Wines. Trengove gets the clearance. It's wide and they've got a mismatch out here. Impey jumps. Let it drop. Sumner through traffic. Doherty. Armfield. Walker. Gibbs in space.
Yeah, at the back, Gibbs.
Simpson works hard for him. He goes to Jones. One-on-ones ahead. Thumps it goal square. Walker the big jump. Thomas is up there. Off hands, Armfield. Back to Sumner. Tucked up against the boundary line. Cripps jumps this time. Off hands, Archie. Amon. Massive opportunity there blown by the Blues. Hard running from Amon, gets it wide. Dixon, wide ball. Can't keep it alive. Content to see it out, really. Port Adelaide dodge a bullet.
Yeah, they did, Dwayne, and they did extremely well. For Charlie Dixon was nearly 3-on-1, so that was a great contest from Dixon to cause a boundary throw in because it looked like Carlton were just going to repeat entry there.
Trengove, after a big first half, was blowing really hard, but great to see him still going and working hard. Kerner gets the hand pass away. The Blues through Armfield. Look up towards the forward line. one-on-one duel here. Holding on from both sides. Thomas was one of those, and he's caught behind on this occasion as Paul Stewart sees it over the line. I was just thinking, Spud, I just wonder if Roy Orbison, the great singer that he was, ever thought that he'd be mentioned in the third quarter of a footy match at Etihad Stadium.
Probably not Sandy, the late Big O. But anyway, I know you love your music, Sandy.
Cruiser to Gibbs. Gibbs to full forward. Stewart again defending from behind. That could well have been a trip on young Darcy Byrne-Jones. Not to be.
Well, here again, we talked about Carlton's wall at the start of the game.
It's definitely a trip.
No, it was a trip.
Free kick.
Yeah, but the repeat entries, that's what Carlton, the big improvement. They just get territory early and then they're able to maintain some forward entries.
Kerridge tried to get it through traffic. Boak got it through traffic to aim on. Wingard in the contest, kept his feet, knocked it down towards Dixon. Walker read it well, left it behind. Wingard keeps his feet again. Walker under it and cooked, according to the umpire.
Well, he's the one that dived on it, and he was about to get the ball out, but Charlie Dixon dragged it back under him.
Dixon plays on long. Archie up. Can't take the mark. Young dives on the crumb. He's in trouble. Got it out. Archie. Wingard floats it. Jarman Impey 3 to beat. Goes hard. Ball to the back. Murphy read it to perfection. To Simpson. Not a lot on. Has to hit Armfield and hits him well.
Yeah, killing the crisis, isn't he, Cade Simpson?
Armfield.
Well,
low to Thomas. He's going to make the veteran work hard there. Well, the boundary line beats him.
Didn't give him much chance, did he?
None at all.
Nearly shinned it, didn't he? Dennis, we know he puts a lot of forward line pressure on. That's his role in the team.
Cruiser and Trengove again. Boak lurking. A little quiet. Polak gives it to him now. Boak for goal. Just goes across the face ever so slightly. And through for one behind.
No, it's a let-off. Carlton, especially, they had no one as a sweeper there to Polak when he ran through. They had no sweeper, Carlton.
Doherty to the outer side. One grab, not enough for Byrne. And was that deliberate?
Out in the full.
So Carlton again with the opportunity. Getting out of the danger zone for a moment. Up over centre wing. Into the attacking zone. No mark. Armfield again.
Dennis.
He sprints away, Dennis Armfield. Puts it inside 50. Waiting at the back is young Lamb, and he'll go back and kick the goal. Exactly the start that Carlton needs after Port Adelaide's Boak missed a sitter at the other end.
Well done to Dennis Armfield. We were a little bit critical of his kick to Murphy about a minute ago, but then he's got a clearance and got shoulders out from that clearance. And once he got out of that congestion, used his legs beautifully to run 20 metres and get it over the top to Jed Lamb.
He has missed from this distance, so but we don't want to mozzie.
He won't miss this.
This to make the margin one straight kick, and that's exactly what he's done. Jed Lamb has his second, and here come the Navy Blues.
A really good start for Carlton. As you said, 11-point turnaround. Boak runs into an open goal, he misses. And we just see here the clearance. Dennis, the contest, sorry. Dennis then gets shoulders out. Runs he's required 15 to 20 metres to get it over to Lamb, and there's nothing the Port defence on that occasion, especially Jones, could do when Dennis, have a look at the run and carry, puts it under his arm. So what that sends a message to his forwards is to run hard towards goal. That's really good connection between Dennis and Lamb. Started the game extremely well this third quarter. The Blues, have a look at the kicking efficiency at the moment. Port 33%, Carlton 83.
Cruiser had to sit there, palm down, couldn't find a teammate. Toe poke towards half forward, but they've got it inside their half at least from the ball up. Holmes, free kick given away. Rowe. Got a little bit of a run on. Walker not shut down, goes to the hot spot. Good fist from Stewart. Pittard, O'Shea, Hartlett, sits it on Young. Good contest, Doherty, down to Simpson strip and had Pryor.
It was a beautiful tackle from Young, wasn't it? The kick was actually, the first kick was went to him, and Doherty read it well, but then he was in the game to really tackle hard on Simpson.
Pittard back. Stewart again. They've hemmed them in. tucked them all the way back. He's got Young long this time. And again, it sits it on him. And again, Doherty comes hard with a crunching fist and finds the line. And the Carlton fans, a massive round of applause for that. They keep it in their half.
Really good forward line pressure. No easy target, no easy outlet for Port out of their defensive 50, and that's the big improvement that Brendan Bolton's brought to this team.
Cruiser used the body well, down towards right. Inside 50 once again. Everett was a target. He's still going on grass. Almost threw it out. Wright's lurking, and he's going to be there again if he can keep it in play. He's shoved over the boundary line.
Nothing much in this, just get on with it, guys.
Broadbent and Gibbs just...
The property stewards might be happy, Sandy.
No.
They're doing stretching their jumpers.
Cruiser front spot. A little bit of frustration for Trengove. He finishes on his run.
Just interesting to see how long Trengove, definitely a free kick, can maintain this effort, Jace. Must take a lot out of him.
Yep.
Up towards the forward line it goes. And once again, Port Adelaide defence being tested. Kerridge at the bottom of that pack.
He's lucky today, Trengove, because Casbolt does relieve Cruiser in the ruck, so he's not getting double teamed. So that's one bonus that Braxton Trengove has got today against Cruiser. It's been a really good battle between these two guys.
Cruiser up high, but he had a third man in row. Back to Cruiser. 20-metre hand pass. Out the back it comes now. An opportunity there for Plowman. Short by Simpson. That's okay. There's just inside 50. Well, right on the cusp, Armfield.
Well, Jace, this is the wall to a tee in the start of this third quarter. Port have only gone forward once and both missed the goal. And since then, Carlton have been able to maintain territory north of 30. And every time Port get the ball, they look up and all the outlets are covered by the Carlton defenders.
Just the one goal so far this season for Dennis Armfield in 3 games. In he comes, kicking from 54 metres. Certainly has the distance, but it's just drifting away and hits the behind post.
It's probably a better result for the Blues. It helps them lock it in, helps them reset and chase a goal again rather than giving possession up for a kick out from the behind.
Rowe did well in the ruck, found Murphy. Couldn't drop it on the boot.
Oops.
Gibbs, stand start. Bangs it to the square. High ball. Jones comes hard. So too Hodge. Breaking free Lamb. Gave it up to Everett. Knocks it in front. Tried to keep it alive. And you mentioned Travis Boak earlier on. He had more possessions than any other player on the field last week, Travis Boak, but he's having a lean day at the office today. Back into play. Murphy. Curnow. Gibbs. Time to steady. That's a big-time goal from Bryce Gibbs.
Well, eventually, you keep the ball in there, something's going to happen. And the damn wall had to break at some stage. And it was because of the repeat entries and the clearances. Since quarter time, Carlton have absolutely smashed Port Adelaide in the clearances. And have a look at that tap there from Rowe. It was really well set up with Gibbs being the sweeper out the back, and that was a really good handball from Curnow. Took the tackle, and Gibbs just off one step. That's a terrific goal. He kicked 3 goals last week, Gibbs, and now having a great game.
Down by 16 points midway during that second term. Scores are level. Gibbs gets his first. Carlton crowd springing to life.
Yes, Sandy, since quarter time, Carlton's clearances have been 22-11, so they've doubled them after getting smacked early. And here's another one.
And it's Gibbs, yes, who's going to bring them away to Simpson. He gets claimed. Now an opportunity for Hartlett. Spins around and goes long. Deep in towards 50 once again. Wingard is there. Plowman is there. Needs assistance, however. Dixon gets the hand pass to Wingard, and there's the quick answer.
Just got caught perhaps trying to do a little too much. Unfortunately, Kate Simpson, he came off the back of the square, received the hand pass for the clearance from Bryce Gibbs, and he was run down from behind, and that's what created the turnover. You can see they were trying to set up. He wanted to split back into the middle and then hit a target going forward, but Aaron Young's been good with his chase downs.
He wanted to get on his left, didn't he? We know his left foot's penetrating, but at some stage, as soon as he cut in, Jay, she was spot on. It's a much-needed goal for Port. Well, the positive for Port is that every time they go in, they've had a shot at goal. They've only been in twice this quarter for 1 goal, 1. So they just need to win the clearance. This quarter alone, Carlton 9-2 clearance favour.
Recalled. Point out from Cam Mooney. I mentioned Travis Boak. He had 31 possessions last week. He's had just 6 so far today. And they need to put some air into Travis Boak, not just Chad Wingard.
Well, there's a few of them. Wingard's one, Boak's one, you mentioned. Also, Polek's another. Hasn't seen much of it.
Good attack from both Murphy and Stewart. Ball funneled out, right, rolled, got it up. Murphy. Rowe. Trengo tried to push off. Caught. Archie.
Yeah, Ken Hinkley's actually trying to get Boak into the game, or even put him onto the half-back flank, Dwayne. It looks like he's going into the clearance now.
Got a blood rule here, so it's just 6 possessions for Travis Boak, 7 for Brad Ebert, 7 for Polek, 8 for Wingard, and they're players that generally see a lot more of the footy.
Yeah, well, Charlie Dixon will have to go into the ruck, or Westhoff come straight off the bench for Tringo. I think that's what's happening. Dixon to stay forward as we see Boak. He needs to start winning the ball. The player beside him, Cripps, he's the one that's having some huge impact in this game. He's had 5 clearances, Cripps.
So Trengove to get tidied up. Westhoff straight off the bench. He's beaten in that encounter. Here's Cripps. Danny was talking. He's worked really hard till he gets the hand pass away. Carlton need the next one. Port Adelaide leading by 1 straight kick. Everett close to the boundary line. So too was young Lamb. And Lamb taken over. Carlton fans not too happy. One in particular is quite irate.
Still plenty happening off the ball.
Rowe uses the body. Cripps uses his strength. And he's got plenty of that. Towards Kerridge. But again, swung over the line by Westhoff. Carlton have got North next week, then Geelong and then Brisbane.
Have a look at the clearances here. 6 apiece to Gibbs and Cripps. Ollie Wine's just about playing a lone hand for Port in the clearance stakes.
Westhoff trying to get it down to Ebert. Murphy is there. Cripps again. Got it out to Murphy. He tried to find Simpson, but Archie was there. Young's in trouble. It's very, very tight. Archie again.
Good pressure from the loose.
It's really good. Here's Ebert. Look at him ripped to the ground. Forces the error, and the ball stays on centre wing. And great work by Cripps.
This game, he just thinks it's going to go right down to the wire. There hasn't been more than 10, 11 points in this game of football. Port are playing extremely well, but Carlton just can't be denied. The 2 sides in great form. Port winning their last 2. Carlton winning their last 3. If they can win today, it'll be their first 4 in a row since 2011.
And they brought their fans back to the footy, the Blues, under Brendan Bolton. Resurrect the club. Got a fantastic fan base. Carlton always have. And now they've got a reason to believe, for some hope. Future's so bright. We saw a few of their fans wearing shades earlier. Polek thumps it inside 50. Spare man back. Dixon comes hard.
And that's what he's lucky that that's not 50. But Jared Polek's got to make better use of the footy than that. He's a good user, normally a good decision maker.
Simpson, Archie got there. Arm slap in the contest. Free kick to Simpson. Everett, precise use again. Everett takes some time to assess.
Get your hands off him.
Delicately poised this game to a 2-on-2. Stewart with a big fist. Gibbs couldn't keep it in.
Heard the umpire's microphones then. You could hear an umpire saying, Brad Ebert, get your hands off him. I'd much prefer they didn't say that. And if he does something that's wrong, blow the whistle, pay a free kick.
So umpire and don't coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I know they're trying to communicate with the players and instruct them as well, but I'd rather just see them, you know, if a player's dumb enough to give a free kick off the ball, pay it.
Hartland had it, lost it to Curnow. towards Jones and Armfield. The ladder has it now. He gives it off towards Gibbs. He's 47 metres out. He tumbles it in towards full forward, where it's smacked away over the line. Throw in the left forward pocket.
Well, this is where Carlton really do set up the wall beautifully. I don't know why you go to ground when you get a little scuff to the eyebrow there, Dwayne. Your legs go a bit wobbly.
I think you want a free kick sometime.
Yeah, Jed Lamb. Well, he's kicked a couple. He could perhaps sniff another one. Trouble here for Hartlett.
Really good pressure.
Deliberate?
It's got to be deliberate.
The umpire call touched off the boot.
Touched, you're right.
Very good call, Jason.
Yeah.
That's why Bannister was looking down at Jordan Bannister was looking at the other umpire on that occasion.
Having said that, I don't think it was touched off the boot. It just slid off the side of the boot.
Let's have a look here. Oh, no. Yeah.
It's just a mongrel kick.
Still a good call by you. Broadbent. Murphy to the line and another throw.
I love the feeling that's in the game. There's a lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of jostling, a lot of needling. They both realise that they've got momentum going at their respective clubs and they want to keep it going.
Trengove and Cruiser. The ladder getting a hand to it. Broadbent taken to ground.
Next point, easy getting up, easy getting up. Thank you.
I mentioned
Cade Simpson. Just have a look at Cade Simpson here again. He's the extra. So Porter got an extra at the clearance. See Cade Simpson controlling the traffic and then trying to make sure that he isn't the go-to player for Carlton if the ball does slip out Port's way.
Ollie Wines did the rut work, then got it out. Kerridge couldn't take it cleanly. Cruiser can to right. He's in trouble. Called to play on. Lamb has kicked a couple, but he won't add to that.
Port Adelaide could be in the 8 at the conclusion of this game with a win. Carlton could be snapping at the heels of the 8 if they win, and nobody thought that was a chance a month ago. Wines floats in, takes off. Jarman Impey inside, dangerous. But that's the way they play it. Polak caught, no prior opportunity. Now he has to get it out though.
He's gone. Yeah, and rightly so. It wasn't his fault. It was the handball that went a loop over the top. He was always going to get tackled with pressure coming from behind. See the handball here over the top of the pack. Pop that.
He's got his arms free there.
Yeah, he could have got it out there. He held it in last minute, and umpire waits for you to try and get it out, even if he can't get it out. Sumner. Good crash to the pack by Jones. Burn Jones.
Yeah, it was a really good, strong contest. Rose still down, trying to pick himself up off the ground. That was a strong contest from forwards and defenders from both respective teams.
Almost 20 minutes gone. Ebert in trouble. Cruiser gets the hand pass up to Armfield, who's had a busy term. Goes over the top and is just away to the right.
Well, Ebert in a bit of difficulty. On the left hand.
Pitted down the middle. Looking for his tall timber. Trengove goes to ground. Kerridge was there. Charlie Dixon working hard. Handballs into the centre. Kerridge again.
Simpson again.
Here's Simpson. Wide to Thomas. They're away here, Carlton. Daisy has a look in towards the pocket. The pass is on. The lead was good. And Rowe, the defender who was sent forward after the Casbolt dilemma, will have a shot tucked in the pocket.
Well, they probably needed to kick this, Sandy. They've had 9 inside 50s this quarter for 2 goals. Port have only been in three times for 1 goal, 1. So I know it's a difficult angle, but they need to get some scoreboard pressure here because they've been dominant in this 3rd quarter.
Hasn't goaled this year. Has kicked just 13 in 59 games. So it'd be a big moment for him and Carlton if he can convert from 47. Close, but not close enough. Port by 4 behinds. So the scene is set for a big final quarter. As Dwayne said, if Port are victorious, they could find themselves in the 8 for a while. Carlton sneaking ever closer. Boak at the bottom. Had it and then lost it. Support coming from Amon.
And Simpson out the back again.
And here he is, taking the mark.
Oh, that was a generous 15 metres.
It was. But it's his 250th, Jason. Simpson wide to the wing. Thomas waiting. Goes down the line. That's going to be okay to Everett. And now Andreas to the top of the square. Liam Jones, Rowe, Cripps, they're all thereabouts. Gibbs lurking. Jonas doing the tackling on Cripps.
Cruz has been terrific today. We talk about Tringo. Cruz has had 4 clearances, Tringo's 3. 26 hit-outs to Tringo's 12, but 9 to advantage for Tringo. Cruz only 3 to Tringo.
Burnt Jones caught. Umpire blindsided. Carlton fans wanted ball. Port fans wanted too high. Neither paid. Ball up.
They're on the edge of their seat, aren't they?
Absolutely.
And James, we're worried about Tringo just continually in the ruck.
That's a high tackle.
It's a high tackle. There's
Probably
Cruiser again.
Palm down to Young, to Amon. Pomsch. So the Blues have 1 spare back, and now it's Simpson who has to get off. Stolen by Need. Came out of nowhere. Now he's caught high. Gee, cut some slack there. Blues fans at full volume right now. Need half smothered. The chaos ball might work for them. Ollie Wines squeeze it inside 50. Broadbent time to go. Play on. It was touched and it hits the post.
Yeah, the play on the square too. I know he's on his non-preferred. And empty, I think, in the square in his own.
That's a goal gone begging for Port Adelaide.
No doubt.
Certainly made hard work of it, Simpson.
Well, at some stage they need to man Simpson up this quarter. He's been dominant in his 3rd quarter.
From the back pocket towards centre wing. Kick's got to be good, and it is.
He's had the 7 disposals, Cade Simpson, in his 3rd quarter.
Just 5 points in it as we sneak towards 3/4 time. As long as they're in touch. Good work by Doherty again. And you can hear the crowd murmuring. Cruiser.
He's the man. He is dominated. He is dominated. Now he's pushed forward and made Tringo play as a defender. He's the difference in the game at the moment. I know the scores are level, but look out, Cruiser, because he's not going to get any smaller. He's dominated in the ruck. He's dominated the hits to advantage. He's beating Tringo in clearances. Now he can push forward and really put some real confidence into his teammates if he drills this.
48 metres out. Looks good off the boot. It is good. And Carlton have regained the lead.
This is terrific play. And this is the last time Carlton won 4 in a row when Brett Ratton was coach. Round 18, 2011. Then they win another one against North, their 2nd in a row. The Carlton supporters around their 3rd in a row against the mighty D's. Chris Judd dominant on that occasion, picking up 3 votes, and Eddie Betts, who's now at, and here's their 4th with the Judster again. I think it was another 3 votes for Chris Judd. As I said, mark of the year, there's Oscar Dillon Judd, who was just born. They smashed Essendon, and gee, couldn't this be Brendan Bolton? This would be a fairy tale start for him as a coach.
It would be phenomenal, given where they were this time last year, the Blues. Tringo with Cruiser rising before our eyes, injury-free, or at least playing at 90% after a big knock earlier. Cruiser playing one of the games of his life. Curnow, shove it away. Broadbent thumps it long. Wingard, Burn, Wingard.
Magnificent kick. You can see Aaron Byrne there searching for Wingard, but he just ducked out the back there and he lost touch and feel, but the kick was always to his advantage, and that's the kick. But Wingard had to seal the deal and mark it. That's just clever forward craft from Wingard.
Never misses.
Yeah, let me get that.
From this spot, that's all grounds, not just this ground. And this is turning into a heart stopper.
That's a ripper, Dwayne.
A quarter and 4 minutes left. Wingard's got a couple.
And he's one of those players that Port Adelaide desperately needed to get into the game. Chad Wingard, just the 9 possessions, but importantly, in this 3rd term, he's kicked the 2 goals. So a bit of bullocking work there from Ollie Wines. How often do we see that contributing to the clearance, the quick kick forward, and he had good field position, strong enough to hold it.
I know Boak has only had the 7 disposals, Jace, but that was a great tackle to cause the turnover from Curnow. He's the money man at the other end.
Port Adelaide again, edge in front. And the power chant goes up. Cruiser again does the work in the middle. He wins it, pushes it down. Hartman tries to get it out. An opportunity there for Lamb, who's kicked a couple. Now Cripps off the Cruiser again from a standing start. They're inside 50 towards Jones and Cole. Who's going to recover first? It's going to be Stewart. Keeps the ball in play, bending it back, and an excellent mark is taken here by Hartman.
A really good mark under pressure. That's one of the few times Port have been able to get the ball straight out of Carlton's forward 50 in this quarter.
Kieran Byrne caught 1-2 in that encounter. Seems to be limping. We'll keep an eye on him as the ball spins over the line on centre wing.
Cade Simpson just to the right of screen there on his own, just directing traffic. Trying to man him up, Port. He's just clever enough to be able to create the extra, Cade Simpson. So the half forwards for Port just have to be on red alert when Kane Simpson's on his own.
Cruiser got in front. Cripps did well to get it to right. Jones going back with the flight of the ball. Didn't try and mark it, tried to push it forward, but it's Stewart who recovers well. Ebert took it, probably meant for Pittard. Now he's got a problem. Gets it back. Ebert will get another opportunity, could come wide, and he does. And he finds Hartman.
Hartman chips Archie. Blues getting numbers back quickly. Tied players out there, 3 minutes from three-quarter time, and Jamison drops it. Boak, who needs a break. Keeps it alive, goal square. It might go the way. It's touched through for a behind.
Oh, Michael Jamison, sigh of relief there. As Kieran Byrne getting his right leg strapped heavily there, Moons.
Yeah, he just came off there and spun, limping. Obviously, he's just getting that hamstring strap. Just see if he can come around and do some run-throughs and see if he can come back on.
Thank you, Moons. Cameron Mooney down there on the boundary line as Simpson brings it back into play. Jones was a flyer. Cripps is down behind play. Has not moved. Hartlett gives it to Broadbent. Another one towards Need. Pumps it high. Didn't look, just hoped. And hoped in vain. But here's Cripps.
Yeah, they can't afford to lose him, Sandy.
And he's holding the right knee.
Not good. It's heavily bandaged as well.
Yeah.
No, this is not great news at all.
In time, Plowman to the outer side. Lamb.
He's in a lot of pain, Paddy Cripps.
And we'll get a report from Cameron Mooney as soon as he can discover something. Yes, in the meantime, Jace. A healthy 50 from Ray Chamberlain.
It's just...
He got a head clash there.
Yeah.
Oh, he certainly gets a whack, a backhander to the face.
Hopefully that's all it is. A bit stunned.
Well, we'll wait and see. Thomas, the intercept, over the top. Walker, 55 from home. In towards full forward he goes, towards Rowe, who's pressured over the line.
Just have a look at his right knee though, Joe. So did his right knee collapse with the one with the bandage on it before the hit? You just watch his right knee with the hit.
Simultaneous, weren't they?
I reckon the knee got caught under him as he fell, spun. I reckon that's
good
why
call,
it's sore.
Moons. Good call.
Back into play, dying seconds. Young kept that alive. At the foot. Murphy pumps it back. Stewart's down there, Rose down there, Byrne, Jones, Jonas, Curnow, Kerridge, Curnow, Lamb.
How did he get that out?
Cruiser, Walker, touch through, Pittard.
Well, they've had 14 inside 50s, Carlton, for 3 goals, 2. They've doubled inside 50s. Port have had 7 for 2 goals, 3. So they've only got 6 more points, Jace, in the affirmative, but they've doubled the inside 50s this quarter. So hanging in there.
They're working hard, winning the territory battle.
Settling things down. Hartman was trying to, but that ball goes over the line. So a throw in with a 5-point ball game looming as we go into the final quarter.
There's the time in the forward half, 70% in Carlton's favour, and that's that wall that Brendan Bolton's been able to create for his young Carlton team. Inside the forward 50.
Over the top went Cruiser towards Wines, who couldn't take it. Curnow can. Blues may get another opportunity here. Rowe needs assistance. Murphy is there. He needs help. He's going the wrong way. Gives it off to Thomas, who's past him now. Kicks high and long in towards full forward. Plenty of flyers. No one able to take the mark. Hartlett is waiting down. He's got it now in the back pocket. Goes long towards centre wing. Need got a hand to it, but he needed more than that. Here's Curnow. Poked out. Last chance now for Ollie Wines. Gets the hand pass away to his good friend Wingard. He's got absolutely zilch up forward. So he's got to go short. A tired Armfield gives chase, but he's not the only one. It's ridden into the ground. And it's going to be a Carlton free kick.
Did he have prior opportunity?
I just thought Wingard had an option in the middle and Trengard running in support.
Well, it matters not. Archie.
Good to see Cripps up and about.
Yep, has been let off.
Oh, no, sorry.
No, that's young Kieran.
Sorry.
But it is good to see him back, the young Irishman. So it's all set up for a big final quarter here at Etihad Stadium. Port Adelaide challenged and answered, challenged and answered again, but it's not over yet. They're 10-12-72. Carlton at 10-7-67. It is the Power by just 5.
He just looked like he was getting back to some really good form in that third quarter. He's going to be the go-to man and one that Carlton defenders really need to put a lot of heat on.
Still Travis Boak, just 8 possessions. Jared Pollock, 8 possessions. Brad Ebert, 10 possessions. Those 3 need big quarters for Port.
Well, it's been tight pretty much all day. It did get out to 16 points at one stage in favour of Port Adelaide, but nothing above that. Let's see what happens in this final term as Young swings around now, goes onto the left boot, up towards the 50-metre line. And the mark is taken there by Port Adelaide's youngster in Impey. Impey goes towards the top of the square. Dixon not paid a mark. It comes back, an opportunity for Gibbs. He takes the mark at half-back. Steadies towards Rowe. Did well in opposition to Homps.
Thank you.
Has a look downfield. Thought about going inboard short to Doherty, but now goes virtually down the line. Jones trying to use the body. Just didn't quite have the strength. Ebert, a good tackle. Fixes up Bryce Gibbs. May have a question to answer. No, says the umpire.
He'd love to have that again. Westhoff just bobbled out of the clean hands in that situation.
Here's Thomas dashing through but lost the ball. Hartland went over the top of him.
Yeah, the leg's taken out.
Yeah.
He certainly looked at the umpire asking for it.
Now Gibbs and Thomas pounce on that, and the
Still
umpire decides he'll have it.
Still talking to him about it.
He was already on the ground, the umpire said. If you're already on the ground. He wasn't on the ground.
He dived underneath him.
Umpire said he was already on the ground.
Thomas again had an opportunity, but it was Kerridge who got it away. Simpson, Kerridge again. Oh, Murphy in trouble close to the line, so he tries to soccer it. It comes back to him. Well done. Murphy's still going. Now he runs into a brick wall in the form of Ollie Wine, and that hurt. We'll keep an eye on him. Rapidly becoming the walking wounded as Doherty goes across the ground. Kieran Byrne, short pass into the middle. Simpson takes the mark.
Plays on quickly to Thomas. Flicks over, turnover. Trengo, not a lot to kick to. Wingard's in a 1-on-4, really.
Gee, that's an ordinary kick from Trengo.
Plowman.
Yeah, just a real rush kick under. There was no need for it. He wasn't under pressure.
Guys, Murphy seems to be okay.
Kerridge, right. Good movement. Sumner.
Good ball move from Carlton.
Brought by 5 points. They could take the lead, make an early statement. Central care, Cruiser just through him.
Oh, well,
Hard attack. Kerridge and Pittard dropped. Curnow's been outstanding. Byrne, Gibbs also been spectacular. Goal square. Rowe!
Too strong. Beautiful grab. He was against Broadbent on that occasion. I'm not sure what Paul Stewart and the other defenders were doing around, but it was always going to Rowe. It's just way the numbers. You just sense Carlton there just surging the ball forward. It was led by Mark Murphy about 2 or 3 minutes ago, just working the ball forward off his foot, then got another handball and all one for his team. But
guys,
this is a big kick.
Great news down here, Spud. So Paddy Cripps just come back onto the ground.
Good on you, mates.
So a round of applause for the mark on the replay, and a round of applause for Cripps coming back on. More importantly, Blues are in front.
This is a great game. Beautifully called, Dwayne. Yeah, positive news for Cripps back on the ground, as we can see on the camera there. He's had the 7 disposals, 10 contested ball. but the much-needed first goal. So it puts Carlton in front just about for the first time of the game, Wayne, or they've been in front since...
No, early in the first quarter they were in front.
Yeah, well, it's a good time to get in front. And gee, Bryce Gibbs disposals there. Have a look at this. His graph through the years and averaging 26 disposals this year. Outstanding.
So it's Carlton by 1 solitary point. Cruiser sets himself again. Cripps back out on the ground. And didn't Carlton fans love to see that?
Oh,
Cruiser wins it. He goes again, the big man. Hartlett takes him out. Combines with Trengove. Port need a steadier. Doherty leads in the race. Gets away from Need. That pushes over the line.
With 35 hit-outs to 15 to Matty Cruiser at the moment. It's a dominant display if I've ever seen one.
So brought back in and Need marks. He goes short. Polak up towards Young. Gets the hand pass away. Boak has had a pretty quiet day. That could be a captain's goal, and it is. Travis Boak gets his first. And a much-needed one for Port Adelaide. And once again, they regain the lead.
His team needed it. He needed it personally and loved the quick hands from Aaron Young. It's a scrubby kick coming in from Polak. That's a one-grab take. And a quick hand pass which releases Boak to have the snap. Really good play from Aaron Young.
It's beautiful hands, isn't it? Andrew Walker loved his time again. Just spectated for half a second, which allowed Boak to get goal side.
It's turning into an epic. 16 minutes and 21 seconds remaining. Trengove and Cruiser. Big Cruiser. Trengove wins this one down, but they won't get the clearance. Cripps back on. Caught. Umpire said it was a handball. Simpson caught. No prior, and he's trying. Got to be a ball up.
Well, Cripps looked a little bit ginger there on the change of direction, didn't he? Unfortunately, he was running away from Carlton's goal.
Wines takes it out of the air. Simpson got some space. To the wing. Trengove read it well. Feeds it back to Burn-Jones. Gets around Rowe. Gets under it a little. Dixon attacks it. Fisted it down. Doherty. Right. Doherty. He knew Kerridge was out there. Missed Arnfield.
Shocking kick.
Even. Trengove. Need. Pokes it to Boak. Aim on. Can't go long. Well, he did go long. Blazed away. Plowman should mop it up.
He had to go long to the other side. He's okay going long, but he went long to 2 Carlton players. Plowman switched the angle on that long kick.
Going short to Tui.
Players looking a little tired, which is only going to get tougher as this game grinds out to the finish.
Young! Spectacular over right.
That's a beautiful grab, isn't it?
Having an outstanding year.
Yep.
No, he is, Wayne. Yeah, that's a good grab.
Possession number 15 coming up. He's kicked 1 goal, 2, given a couple away.
Young just forward of the wing. The power go deep inside 50 once again. Westhoff was there, couldn't take the mark. Carlton defence standing strong at the moment. Here's right again. Back towards centre wing and Rowe.
Yeah, they need Liam Jones to get to work here. Long down the line, obviously no Casbolt, so Rowe's the go-to players on the wing. So Paul will be happy with Rowe up the ground at the moment after kicking the first goal of this last quarter.
Yes, if you have just joined us, Casbolt has left the ground having scans on a knee, and we certainly wish him all the best. Here's Cruiser.
Great contested mark. It's been a really good duel.
Yeah.
Cruiser's going up to disposal number 13. Trengo's at 17. So it's great to see Ruckman continually in the play now instead of just relying on the hit-outs.
From centre wing, he goes up towards the 50. And that's, once again, a good, strong mark taken by Ebert.
No, they had to halve the contest there, Carlton. They had a number of players around. Really good mark. Safe mark from Ebert.
Broadbent could be a target here.
Gee, that's a good kick.
He is. Kick had to be accurate, and it was pinpoint. His kick's all right too. So Port Adelaide just controlling it at the moment.
Thank you. Move it on now.
5 points is the margin. Time, not a factor. Still got plenty to go. Broadbent takes it back. Still on the wing. Now call to go. And he does. Up to the big men. Here's Hartlett. Claim. Murphy. Steals it back again for Carlton. They're not out of the woods yet. They can come across the ground, though. Tui has got carriage. If he wanted him, he doesn't. He goes back the other way from whence it came. Right might be a fly. He's in the pack, but he couldn't complete it. Cripps was there. So too was Cruiser. Here's Byrne. Back in towards full forward. Walker with a fist to the boundary line. Sees it over. And we've got to throw in.
Magnificent defensive play. Aaron Young just getting his lower back rubbed. And that's exactly where he landed on his lower back. So let's hope he's back on the ground quite soon.
Had a couple of jelly beans. Hartlett. Broadbent. Goal square. Archie. It's bounced through. It has bounced through. It's taken a Shane Warne-esque bounce, and they get some luck.
Well, the two Port goals this quarter, beautifully called, Twain, because it was the bounce, and Bo kicked one from a similar player. There's the degree of difficulty here. See the hands here from Hartlett, and then Broadbent. Let's see the bounce. Oh, that is an absolute leg break. Even Shane Warne will be happy with that one, Dwayne. Yeah, that's a really tough goal from the clearance, Jose.
Isn't that an off break?
Yeah.
Oh, it is an off break. You're right. Sorry.
11 points. All of a sudden, Port lead thanks to an off break.
Sorry, Tim May.
Yeah, sorry to Tim May and those
or
guys.
the wrong un.
Yeah.
The wrong one. Yeah, mate.
All right, we'll discuss it later. Westhoff down towards the 50 once again for Port. Threatening to score. Unable to get through was young Jarman Impey.
Well, this is going to test the young Carlton team now. They're up and about after hitting the lead at the start of this last quarter, but Port have hit back hard here now.
Once again, the power chart goes up. Rowe does the ruck work. Broadbent got a hand to it. Poleg a hurried kick in towards full forward. This one just bounces on a dime. Dixon's there and he kicks the goal. Boy, suddenly the tide has turned in favour of Port.
That's just strength at its absolute best there. You can see Brendan Bolt maybe nonplussed because it looked like Carlton were up and about at the start of this last quarter. Two goals from clearances the last 2 minutes. But have a look at the strength from Dixon here, Jace.
I also reckon he gets another favourable bounce here. They've had a couple of good bounces.
Yeah.
Just sat up nicely for him.
Yeah, but what about Michael Jamison's effort there? Seriously, as a defender, you've got to find a way. That was pretty disappointing from Jamison. Pretty poor. There's the third eye there. Yeah, that's your strength. 112 kegs at its best there, Jace.
At least 112.
17 points, the biggest margin of the game to either team. Murphy, Cripps, up and about. He's not at his 100% though. Almost clean missed it. Wines, who's been unstoppable all afternoon, dragged down. Cripps did brilliantly. Not so good there though. Out of bounds on the full. Port Adelaide's ball to Polak.
It was interesting there, Dwayne. He actually put all the weight onto his right leg to kick that ball. And you just have a look. See the weight going to his right leg there, and there wasn't much penetration to the left, so it's definitely bothering that right knee.
In Charlie Dixon territory, and that's a good mark, dropping back with the flight. Really had to put his body on the line there, Doherty. Holds it up, back pocket. 11 minutes left, still plenty of time for the Blues. They've come back from 16 down already in this game. It's 17 now. Stewart, having the season of his life, pulls it in with one arm.
No, he has, Wayne. He's been the most consistent defender of their back six. Hasn't put a foot wrong all year.
Cracker.
Hold that line, thank you.
Carlton need to get one-on-one now and continue to take the game on. Porter surging.
Gee, that looked a grab, didn't it?
Looked as though it was going to be a mark. Here's Pollock again. Oh, it's dangerous, but he's away to the left and through for one behind. Port threatening.
Looked to be a one good clean grab.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, that's a
Just
mark.
didn't control it down. They are coming though. This is a big test for the Blues. Momentum all with Port.
No doubt finding it even more difficult without the services of Casbolt. Cripps that isn't 100%. Cruiser that copped one earlier in the day, but has been absolutely gallant.
Yeah, well, Port have won, since Carlton kicked that goal, 5 clearance to 1 in Port's favour, which is equated into 7 inside 50s to 1.
Trengove recovers best. Armfield was at the back, couldn't get a run at it.
So clearance has been a really big, important factor in this game. Port dominated the first quarter, dominated clearances. The next 2 quarters, Carlton dominated. They hit back in the scoreboard. Now it's Port's turn to dominate the clearances.
Cruiser with the left hand, but straight to Broadbent, who was pushed as he kicked, but lucks a fortune. Goes to Ollie Wine, spears a pass. It's going to be chopped off, however, by Tui. Tui comes towards Gibbs. Time rapidly becoming a factor for Carlton. He gives it to the running right, who goes towards Jones, who's got to beat a couple, and he can't. The ball spills free for the moment. Pittard is taken out of it. Well done by Cripps, but the hand pass goes astray. Port a chance once again as it's flicked up towards centre wing to the 250 gamer in Simpson. Cruiser over the ball, got a toe poke to it, that was all. Wingard, the hand pass is okay, wide towards Amon, even further to Young. Pressure on Impey, he goes to ground, back to Young. From a standing start, he pumps it up towards the 50. Carlton have got the numbers. They also need a kind bounce. They're not going to get it. Impey through heavy traffic, gets claimed by Tui, and he's going to be pinged.
On a nice edge right now. Blues fans know it.
Well, they need to go through the corridor, Dwayne, down the middle of the ground, Carlton. They're going far too wide at the minute.
Exactly 3 goals the margin, and here they go down the middle. The 250-game hero goes long. Everett's got it. Handballs it inside. Almost a trip. Is a trip.
And a great free kick to give away because there were loose Carlton players everywhere.
They're still loose.
And the short pass, but can he kick it, Cripps?
Well, that's been the question, but it was great to see Carlton go down the middle there, Dwayne. The last 4 or 5 times they've gone wide, they need to take the game on. The best way to do that is play on quick and get the ball through the corridor, but this is a big kick.
Port Adelaide's kicked the last 3 goals of the game. It's exactly 3 goals the margin right now. 9 minutes left. Cripps has come back on after being injured from just inside the paint. Not bad off the boot, just misses. With 3 kicks and they're in the lead.
Yeah, professional free kick there. Carlton were on, Jace. They had numbers everywhere forward.
Right from the kick out, gives it away quickly. Sumner high, no mark, doing the roving daisy, caught by Broadbent and co in a gang tackle and brought to ground.
Sam Rose looked good since going forward for the Blues. Presents well, competes well in the air.
Crowd of 26,924.
He gives their half forward something to crumb off, doesn't he?
Rowe, Pollack, and Rowe again. Well, tried to do it with his feet initially, but eventually Port should get out to Hartley. They do. Up towards centre wing. Again, Carlton have the numbers, and Doherty takes the mark. Now he switches play. Tui, he's got it in the middle of the ground. He goes wide to the outer side. Danger here, but they're going to get away with it. Perhaps a little fortuitously. No, they're not.
Yeah, that was done.
Stolen. Pollack's away. Gives the hand pass off. There's no one up forward, so he's going to go back again. Hammered over towards Westhoff, but was badly guided. Now Byrne can steady for Carlton. He does. He goes short, and that's safe.
If they get the ball out this side and switch it again.
Cripps still on the defensive side of centre. Kick is okay on that occasion. Everett with the left boot. Centering ball. And needs a mark, and Liam Jones has answered the call, but now he's got to finish the deal.
No, he does, Sandy. Really good work off the ball from Rowe. If he kicks this, he needs to get to Sam Rowe because he put his big frame in between his defender. You just see the bottom of the screen. Really good handball over the top from Thomas. Sam Rowe, just really good protection. There it is there. Just kept his opponent down, or the player in that vicinity, which was Pittard.
Just the 1 goal today so far for Liam Jones. That was in the second quarter.
If he misses, it'll be to the right.
Kicks on its way. And he doesn't miss. He does not miss that one. Exactly what Carlton needed. They're back to within a couple of kicks.
Well, they had their opportunities, Port. They were going forward, and it was a horrible decision by O'Shea, who hand-passed back to a teammate under pressure. And that's why the turnover occurred when he had a loose man in support going forward. And then the Blues were able to move it down here. And you can just see there's a loose defender, Hartlett, but he's out of play there.
Yeah, really good handball from Thomas. And again, you can just see Sam Rowe here think defensive, keeping Pittard out of the spoiling situation.
Jones was the hero a couple of weeks ago in the win over Fremantle. Port Adelaide, if they hold on, they'll be in the 8. But the Blues are coming hard, and Cripps has been inspirational back on him as hell.
He's a good player, is he, Cripps? Gee, he's on one leg. That's his 8th clearance. He had 27 disposals, 14 contested ball.
And he thumps it. Time is of the essence. Jones, push, free kick, Carlton.
Yeah.
Jones's ball.
Hands in the back.
Well, could he be the hero again?
Yeah. We'll get the trap. It's just a matter of accuracy now. And started with Cripps out of the centre bounce, winning that free kick.
To cut the margin to 5 points with 5 minutes left.
Yeah, the hand, gee, it was only the it was in the back. Really good decision there from Ray Chamberlain.
Concentration all over his face. That's what he's got ahead of him. Sprays it. It won't have the carry. And knuckled through for a behind. Still 2 kicks from the lead.
Yeah, just didn't quite get it. Just come off the side of the boot a little bit, trying for that extra distance, which often happens when you're kicking from outside 50.
10 points the margin. 5 minutes remaining. Just over 5. So plenty of time for Carlton if they can score a couple. Westhoff had front spot. Kerridge is waiting down. Pollock's on his hammer. So another big finish in round 8. Cruiser again. Trengove. Everett was there. Couldn't take a hand on it. And the Port defence trying to stand firm. Holding the ball. And this could be a very heavy penalty indeed for Port Adelaide.
There was just no talk there for Amon. He was just waltzing out of the back half. His defenders had someone had to yell out. He was extremely hot.
He
really
also
good
thought he
pressure.
had a lot of time there, Spud.
I'm not sure what he was thinking. He definitely, the periphery vision needs to happen, because you're waltzing out of a situation like that. There's got to be numbers from behind, but really good tackle.
Liam Sumner has kicked 4 goals in 5 games this season. Yet to trouble the scorer today, but this is a huge kick for him and Carlton. Kicks from 48 metres. Good looking kick off the boot. It's a great looking kick off the boot, and Carlton are still alive. They're down by 4 points.
We just sensed coming to this game it was going to be close. Both teams in really good form, a lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of niggle all day. Hasn't been over the top spiteful, but there's been a lot of niggle. And these 2 clubs, as we know, there's a really good tackle from Sumner, wasn't it? And gee, Carl Amon just needs to work on his periphery. Much need. There's still a twist in this game to go yet. Going to go down to the wire.
Port Adelaide has led at every change by 9 at quarter time, 11 at half time, 5 at 3/4 time. They opened up an 18-point lead 5 minutes ago. The Blues were cruiser, but he knocks it down to Ebert, thumps it wide. Young, Byrne, boundary line, takes it off.
A really good contest.
4 points the margin, 4 minutes left.
Brendan Bolton just standing up for a while, probably just can't bear to look at the moment. The life of an AFL coach.
Westhoff with cruiser this time. Everett, 3rd man up. Hits the deck. Murphy gets there quickly. Jumped on. Ball up again.
It's interesting because Carlton have had 70 more possessions throughout the course of the match, and yet Port Adelaide have gone inside 50 a couple more times.
In the scramble. Wine's trying to get it out. Amon jumped on it, got it out just in time. Pollock, touch play on. Need trying to get it and go. Dixon flicks it out. Kerridge. Blues fans screaming for too high. Umpire Donlan says I'll toss it in the air.
Yeah, Jace, there's no doubt since quarter time, since the Casbolt factor, Carlton have had 163 uncontested possessions to Port's 111 since quarter time. So they've probably had to share it round a little bit. Ruck Lotto again, is it?
Cruiser can't believe it.
He's got a grin on his face.
Ruck Lotto, and you know, tense passages of play. Look, it was probably there in the letter of the wall, but wow. I've seen defenders and forwards grapple a little bit harder that much play on.
Westhoff kicking for his third and a much-needed steadier. Not going to make the distance, so goes to the top of the square. Young was a target, got his hands to it, but couldn't complete it. Wingard is lurking as well. Runs into a brick wall. Murphy sockers off the ground. Pies to get another chance. Burn-Jones couldn't take. Comes wide. Hartlett loses it. Chance now for Armfield. Gets the hand pass away. Gives Simpson. Carlton away. Simpson gives it back to Murphy. Murphy has a look downfield. He wants Rowe. He's got Rowe. Just inside 50. Everett steams down to the square. He's sprinting. Jones is the target, however. He's got front spot. He can't complete the mark. Kerridge hand pass is okay. Cruiser, become a hero. Become a hero. And he has.
Beautifully called, Sandy. What a passage of play. Just the run and carry. It's amazing. And Cruiser, he's still in the game because he's telling his players now to get behind the ball. There's still 2.5 minutes left in the game. Still plenty of time. What about the kick from Gibbs here? Have a look at the cleverness. Just a little one out, and then there's the Mark Murphy kick. He handballs to Simpson. Have a look at Murphy look inboard to Rowe, and then Rowe went to Jones. Just a great team goal, this. One step, whack, straight over the goal umpire's head. Game on. What a fantastic game of football we've seen today.
Well, could Matty Cruiser have a Max Gawn type season or a Goldstein type season? Some inspiring signs right now from Big Cruiser, and he's up. Trengove gets the clearance, but the Blues are in front by 2 points. The game's theirs to lose. Pollock, high, Dixon. Byrne gets back. He's got it.
Gee, second grade, what a great mark.
Millimetres from the deck, and he goes wide to Curnow. It's a long time to take off the clock. 2 minutes.
Just need the tall players long down the line. Cruiser long down the line.
Gives it plenty of air for the pack to be crunched. Players fly. Hits the carpet. Pittard got it from Ebert. Sends it to Dixon. Just through hands. Scrambled free. Cracker dives. Cripps. Through traffic. Gibbs rolls it. Rowe, if he's on. It sits on him. Unkind bounce. Short pass. Seconds keep ticking. Pollock caught. Handball half smothered. Blues fans going crazy.
It's a great result.
1:31 left. 2-point margin.
Well done. Bolton now down on the bench, so he's telling his players to be a wicketkeeper. Get behind the play. You can see Simpson. There's 2 extra players behind the ball on the left of screen at the moment for Carlton.
Cruiser Kerridge was third man up. Kerridge will get another look at it. Picks it up now. Gets through the traffic. Steadies with a long left footer up towards Everett and Co. But it's wide. Too wide out on the full.
Well, they need to switch it here now, Port. They just need to switch the ball. If they go long down the line, it'll be outnumbered.
Jonas is the man who's got to make that switch, and he does. Could have gone back to Homps, but now elected to go straight down the ground. Time is a factor because there's 1 minute and 6 seconds remaining. And it's chopped off. The target was Charlie Dixon.
Good courage.
Yep.
Good courage from Plowman. He would have known Dixon was bearing down. Just eyes for the ball.
Plowman goes to the outer side. Murphy. He's got it now. The hand pass is okay to his good friend Gibbs. Gibbs goes short to Cruiser.
What a game from Cruiser.
Slow it down. Needs to slow it down. Needs to kick backwards.
Just go backwards.
He heard you. He heard you.
Jace. Gee, what a game from Cruiser.
And they can do this 3 times.
They can go all the way back to Plowman if they want to.
Well, they're mad if they don't chip it around.
Well, this is what Sydney should have done last night, Jace.
Yep.
They didn't.
So the clock continues to tick.
Cost them a game of football last night, and Carlton would have been watching that.
Down to 25 seconds. Could just about do it for Carlton. Hammered over the boundary line.
Gee, they're playing really cool football under pressure. That long down the line had Rowe, Jones and Cruiser for long down the line, and Ken Hickley knows this one's let slip, and well done to Brendan Bolton. 4 in a row for the young coach, first time since 2011.
Not over yet, Spud. We'll see what happens in the next few seconds. Kerridge ridden into the ground by Trengove. But there's 9 seconds left now, and that's going to make it hard. Very, very hard. The last time they did win 4 in a row, round 18-21, way back in 2011. Wines with a big smack, but it's going to be all too late. Boat tries desperately as the clock ticks down. Boat's lost his pants, but he still goes after the footy. There's the siren. Carlton have won 4 in a row.
Well, there he is, the man of the moment, Brendan Bolton. Gee, what a magnificent win, Jace. What a great game of footy.
I just love the reaction of the Carlton players when that siren went. There were fist pumps and jumps of jubilation. They sprinted to each other. They wanted to hug and just enjoy the victory. And the crowd of 26,000 sounds like 50,000 now.
Gone mad, gone absolutely mad, Jason. But it's great for the game, isn't it? We saw Essendon lose gallantly. Fans gave them a standing ovation. But look at the players.
Well, Cade Simpson's 250th, Jamison's 150th. The skipper played really well. Mark Murphy, Cruiser was outstanding. Cripps. It was just a great team game, wasn't it?